All right, aloha and welcome to those of you who are watching this in the future. This is another one of our conscious creator work periods presented through Paradigm Shift Central. Again, this is a really cool community project where we come together as a global team of conscious creators to be able to work together, to be able to help level up, to be able to help accelerate the collective shift in consciousness. And within these meetings, we go over social media tactics where we learn a lot of things, where we grow, where we support, and again, just be able to get some feedback, some tips and tricks. So if you're tuned into this and you're looking to be able to level up your skills as a conscious media creator, then maybe grab a notepad, stick around, and yeah, thank you so much for joining. As always, I'm joined by some fellow amazing leading members here within the community. So fellow leading members, go ahead and wave to everybody who's tuned in right now. They can see you there. So awesome. So we've got Kaci, we've got myself, Brendon, we've got Curtis, we've got Kaci Lee, we've got Oleg, Opvious, we've got Shital, Jennifer, Aizo, Pisces, Sifu, and Kristen. Beautiful. Awesome. So again, we got a really awesome group here. We got a pretty full group, but we're going to go through a few things right off the start, and then we're going to get into some details based on hearing back where other leading members are at relative to Discord and Patreon, which is usually something we're always going to be talking about. Again, just for those of you who may be watching this in the future, if you're not entirely familiar, please feel free to connect to our Discord server. You can find the link down below. And if you would like to be able to join as a part of these future conscious creative work periods, which we do 3 times a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at 3 to 4 p.m. EST, and be sure to check out joining as a leading member. And that's where you can join with an $11 a month contribution. Think of it as an investment from yourself. And that's where you get all sorts of cool perks and benefits to support you as a conscious media creator. Again, I've been creating conscious media for 10 years, and here we are together, working together to be able to help assist each other. And that's what I'm passionate about, being able to help assist people in developing their skills as conscious media creators. You can think of this as kind of like a digital conscious media production studio. You can almost think of it kind of like a classroom, a school, whatever the case. So thank you everyone so much for being here, and be sure to connect to the links of all the featured creators here. You can find the info down below, as well as on the Instagram, and through Instagram you can find all the links through my profile link as well. That said, let's get right into things. So to start off the broadcast, start off this work period, I wanted to be able to just hit upon a couple things. I wanted to be able to talk about the power of being able to keep things simple, and also the power of patience. So when it comes to conscious media creation, first of all, I'll say if you haven't checked out the past work periods, go ahead and check those out. There's a lot of information there, and we're not going to get into all the details here, but I still want to be able to hit upon some important things. So I know a lot of you have really been kind of diving into the process of building your communities, and in specific, building your Discords and building your Patreons and everything like that. Again, Discord is a community chat app where you can build a very powerful community. You can organize things based on channels. You can create things where certain members get certain access, and when combined with a Patreon, that's where people can contribute with monthly contributions. That's where you can create and basically create a consolidated way to be able to provide people value while also being able to help build your community and develop your ongoing relationship with your audience. So just as real quick here, this is a very powerful idea. Smooth is slow, slow is fast. So, okay, this is what it is. Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. Now, like I was saying, I understand that a lot of us, we get really excited when it comes to being able to create community. And I think especially when it comes to being able to see our content grow, specifically on TikTok and everything like that, it can feel as if there's a little bit of a rush, as if there's suddenly okay, the content's growing, the people are there. Okay, I got to build my Discord. I got to build my Patreon. And you want to really just kind of be able to get things up and running. And I do encourage you to be able to do things sooner rather than later. So if you're thinking about building a Patreon, you're thinking about building a Discord, don't wait on it too long. But at the same time, I just want to be able to remind you to make sure that you're taking it with a pace of patience. Because I think when it comes to these type of things, especially with a Discord, and especially even just with any content you're doing, you want to be able to make sure that you're going through and you're reading things twice. You want to be able to make sure that you're looking at it from the eyes of the perceiver of your audience. Does it make sense? Is there any information that is missing? Simple stuff. Are there any typos? Literally, are there any grammatical errors? I know this might seem obvious to you guys, but I've seen it happen with a lot of creators where sometimes they'll just kind of run out the gate. And especially with a Discord channel, which is stuff we'll talk about more here later, do not rush creating your Discord channel. Do not just kind of invite a bunch of people into it and just hope it's going to work because you got 50 people in your server. You need to make sure that your Discord channels are set up very properly. And this is where, again, it's the importance of being able to take things nice and slow. And when you're building your community, make sure that you have that first inner circle. Make sure that you have that first group of people that are going to help you create the foundation. There is a big difference between inviting in 50 people people versus inviting in, say, a dozen people and then getting it really situated and then building the foundations from there. Do not shy away from the idea that even with something such as Discord, that you aren't allowed to make changes. Absolutely, you're allowed to make changes. Absolutely, you're allowed to change your Patreon as you go. The Discord channel that we have here through Paradigm Shift Central is actually the second Discord channel. Like the first Discord channel, I created it. I learned a lot from it. It was fun to use, but eventually it got to the point where rather than just cleaning it up, I'm just like, you know what, tabula rasa, I'm just going to clear the slate. I'm just going to start completely fresh because I was confident in doing that. So not that I'm telling any of you here to literally start a Discord channel fresh if you've already created one, but if you feel like you're at a point where maybe your Discord channel is just kind of like it's working, but it's not really accomplishing what you want it to do, that's where you really want to go back and make sure that either things like go back and just check and just be like, is there too much? Is it clear? Is it simple enough? And so this is the important message that I just want to be able to hit upon. We're just going to talk about this for a little bit because there's not too much I need to say here, but I think you guys already get it. It's just a reminder. Keep things simple. Keep things simple. Keep things simple. Your audience is going to come in and they are going to be introduced to your stuff, and you do not need them to spend like 2 hours trying to be able to figure things out. You want your Discord channel, you want your Patreon to be very intuitive, something where they can visually learn it as they go through it. And that's where your welcome section is going to be incredibly important. That's where your previous members who are already creating the foundations are going to be incredibly important. And even again, with your Discord channel and things like that, if you feel like there's a bunch of activity, but then you've got other channels that maybe haven't even really been used yet, it's okay to roll out some of your channels a little bit later. You can literally build your Patreon and your Discord in phases. So you can kind of say like, okay, once things have built up and we've created a good routine, then we can kind of begin opening up additional channels. But honestly, having too many channels can kill a Discord server, straight up. Too many channels can kill a Discord server. And that's not to say that those channels don't have value, but it just makes it incredibly challenging for new members to be able to grasp. So you always want to be able to keep in mind that when you are inviting people in, that it needs to be simple enough for them to be able to figure out. And then there's kind of like layers of degrees where it's simple enough on the surface. And then when they're ready to dive in deeper, then they can get into more of the complexity. Do not throw the complexity as soon as they walk through the door. For a lot of people, that will just be overwhelming. And they'll just be like, I don't know what to do with this. Sorry, maybe this isn't for me type thing. So you are an ambassador for a community. You're an ambassador for your network. You're an ambassador for your content. Keep it simple. So again, with your Discord, this is where I'm able to help you guys. If there's things where you feel like your Discord might need some adjustments, or maybe there's some things that you just want to be able to get feedback on, or maybe there's some things that you're thinking about implementing, talk to me, and I'll be able to give you some feedback on that. And so just again, there's not too much that I need to say about that, but I just wanted to be able to remind you guys the power of patience. The universe will move at the rate that you move. So yes, you do want to be able to strike while the iron is hot, but you don't want to go too fast where you rush things out. And then it accidentally creates like even like more for you to be able to do, because suddenly you're having to like clean things up instead of just slowly building things forward. Can I just get is that like thumbs up? Is that a valuable reminder for you guys? Again, you know, and again, and honestly guys, like this is coming from my own experience. Like this is coming from my own experience. This is coming from me seeing like it happen with like other channels, like outside of our community and things like that, where you go into it. And if it's like too much, if it's not simple enough, it's just, like I've said before, you want to be able to keep things simple where when they walk in, it feels comforting, it feels inviting, and it creates a space for developing an emotional connection. And your Discord should almost be a thing where it's kind of like inviting them into a story. So they start off by kind of going through the welcoming, and then they kind of move into the public chat, and then they can move into the intros, and then they can move into the other stuff. So your Patreon should, your Discord, from your Patreon to your Discord, it should be like a nice, smooth transition and a journey. And again, that's where when you're starting to explain what your Discord is and your Patreon to other people, this is where you might want to get to the point where you're literally creating like a copy and paste text message that you can send to people, just to be able to explain to them how it works so that they know ahead of time how it works. Another quick note, just if this is a little bit more advanced, but once you're getting to the process of, say, for example, you're inviting people to your Patreon and your Discord, say, for example, you put up a post and say like, hey, everyone, we're building an awesome community. If you're interested, leave a comment. They comment on your TikTok, you send them a direct message, you send them a direct message, and then you say, hey, can I send you a message on Instagram? They send you a message on, and then you send them a message on Instagram. And what you can do on Instagram, there's actually a feature called quick replies. I want you guys to be able to look into this, because within your quick replies, you can literally create like multiple messages where it's just the exact same information. And instead of you having to copy, paste, it's a quick reply and you hit it, boom, hit it, boom, hit it, boom, hit it, boom. This will save you time in the long run. This is what I do with when I'm inviting people. I'm like, okay, I'm going to send you the message, click, 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 boom, 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 boom. It sends them 4 messages with 4 separate links. I mean, some of you have seen, I did this with you guys again, because it's not like a gimmicky thing. It's just kind of, here's consolidated information. I found a way to be able to communicate it clearly and simply, and here you go, opposed to having to always like go back and copy paste. So that will save you a little bit of time, but again, quick replies within Instagram direct messages is also a useful thing. So the other thing I just want to be able to move, again, so with this idea of patience, everything like that, what I want to just be able to do here is acknowledge it from the other perspective of being able to like, hold your excitement in a mindful way. Because again, this is coming from my own experience, guys. Like I've had this happen where I get so excited about something that I end up screwing up. Like my excitement is actually my downfall. Like this is, and I'm sure we've all experienced this. Like your excitement will actually like blind you. It will like, you'll do things too fast. You'll do things too quick. And then suddenly you're just like, oh crap, I have to like take 5 steps back. So don't like, be aware that that can happen. That's like a very human thing. But again, to notice, oh sweet, I'm feeling this excitement. And then how do you hold it? How do you carry it? Take a few more breaths, and then takes those nice slow steps. And then again, that way, so you're saving yourself time in the long run, because you're not having to go back and clean things up and redo things that you already did once, but just be able to do them proper the first time. There's a quick little saying, you know, and this isn't like meant to sound like, I'll just say it, but basically, if you're going to do things right. Is all I'm saying. But there's a caveat here, because I'm not saying that you're not allowed to make mistakes. You want to do things in a mindful way, learn along the process, but don't, and I've said before, right? Aim for good enough, not perfect. But when it comes to your Discord and when it comes to your Patreon, don't like, good enough should not, like your Discord should be solid. Like solid with room for improvement. Your Discord should not be good enough, because it will look like it's half-assed, so to speak, and then that will kind of like communicate to you. So like when it comes to your TikTok content, good enough is okay for your TikTok content. When it comes to clear instructions and layout and organization and facilitation within your Discord and Patreon, write it as if you were writing a school essay. Aim for that A+. It should be very clear. And again, that's where, if you're not too sure, go ahead and check with me. But yeah, you know, simple things like that go a long way. Other thing I'm just going to say real quick, because I know Aizo was just talking about this, just as a reminder, something that we just were talking about earlier, but I'll just mention it real quick, and then we'll get into Discord and Patreon stuff with some of the members here. Aizo was just talking about the idea of, again, related to this, being able to bring more mindfulness into our language when we are talking, when we are literally communicating. Again, this is coming from my own experience. I've been talking for over 33 years and I still haven't figured it out yet. I still say and ah and stuff like that a lot. It happens, but this isn't something that needs to always be the case. Once you be kind of intentionally create that intention to be able to say, okay, I am going to slow down my communication. This is a big tip. Like I used to go to Toastmasters. Toastmasters is like a talking club. I know some of you would know Toastmasters. But anyways, one of the things in Toastmasters, this is a simple thing, and I'm just going to mention this quick and then we'll move on. Replace your ums and ahs with pauses. Period. That's it. That will change everything. So if you notice yourself getting into that process where you're just like, hey guys, join my Patreon. It's really cool and you'll like it. We do a lot, like just replace that. Hey guys, join my Patreon. Within the Patreon, we do a lot of awesome things. I think you'll really enjoy it, and it's a really cool place to connect with me. So again, it's just a little thing, but it goes a long way. And even your community may or may not notice it, but it just helps you kind of set that little bit more of a higher standard for yourself in terms of being able to refine your throat chakra, so to speak. And again, the way how that happens is just to be able to take one breath before you're about to do whatever you're going to do. That's literally sometimes all it takes, because that breath activates the reminder to be, yes, I am mindful of my language. It's only when we don't take the breath, and again, we rush into things, the excitement comes up, that's when, again, the mindfulness kind of falls off to the side. So use your breath as a tool to be able to bring in your excitement. Use that same breath even when you're monitoring, like, again, developing your Patrons and your Discord and all of those little things. So with that said, yeah, everybody here, let's just take a breath together, and then we'll move into the next part. So everybody here, just go ahead. I'm not even going to instruct you. Just go ahead and just breathe here, just for like a couple breaths on your own. Awesome. Beautiful. Doesn't that feel great? Cool. Okay. It does, right? Awesome. And that's the thing. You can like, that could literally be a video for your TikTok, like, seriously, once a week, you should do a video just reminding people to breathe, because we need it and people need it. So anyways, team. All right. Thumbs up if that's good. Okay. Like, that was valuable information that I gave you guys. Again, just simple reminders, but good enough. Okay, cool. All right, team. So let's keep moving into the next part. Again, we're just keeping an eye on the time here. I have to head out within about 30 minutes, but we'll get in as much as we can. Again, reminder for leading members, if there's something we don't cover in today's meeting, just send me a direct message on Discord or Patreon, or Instagram as well. And we can go over some stuff individually. Okay, who wanted to, again, it was kind of Oleg or Pisces, if one of you, because one of you guys either wants to go next, or even, I'm not sure if Aizo, if you wanted to jump in, because I know it was all kind of like within the same ballpark relative to Discord stuff, or if there's other stuff that can wait for another day. Kind of check in. Oleg or Pisces, did one of you guys want to go first? If one of you just wants to volunteer, if there's something you guys want to get some feedback. Pisces, did you want to go first? That's okay. Okay, Pisces. Okay, so we'll pass over Pisces. Pisces, again, you can just kind of introduce yourself briefly and basically just tell us where you're at in terms of your Discord and your Patreon, where you feel you just need to be able to like refine things, get more clarity, et cetera, et cetera. And welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you so much for passing the mic. Namaste, beautiful souls watching now and in the future. I'm so happy to be here. My name is Melissa, aka Pisces Psyche. Feel free to call me whichever identity name label resonates with you. And I'm just so excited to be here to check in that my progress is that of celebrations and refinery, because I've had my first 2 official Patreon subscriptions. The lovely Newly Awakened is here with us today, my very first Patreon subscription. Thank you so much for being here. The tears are coming, so I'm just gonna breathe again. Everyone can take a breath with me if you feel welcome. Okay. And Amanda, also one of my members, is a member in Paradigm Shift as well. And I'm just so excited to be here checking in on my Discord community. I'd like to kind of dial back, as you are well feeling that energy of the hare, and I'd like to pivot and become the turtle. So if I can call upon the assistance of Brendon and Jennifer, my spirit guides are telling me that you have the skill set of that organization, the rollout, the real technical skills that I lack myself. So if I could so call upon you, that would be just fantastic, my love. We could DM after this later. I would just love that. I would like to dial down, kind of simplify my channel, redirect my welcome section, get some focus there so that when people come to my server, it's all over the place right now. And I'd like it to be more welcome, head to the public chat, then the member intros, and then a dive deep when you're ready. Just like, that's my focus. So I'll be heading that direction. I got a lot of clarity out of just sitting and listening as I'm writing my questions, then the answers come. So I just love and can't stress enough the idea of patience and slowing down. That is my karmic lesson, and it seems to be coming from Brendon consistently. And I thank you so much, dude. It's magnificent. It's taught me so much in so many areas of my life. I can carry the skills that I learned here in Paradigm Shift as a leading member everywhere else. And it's been paradigm shifting. Like, it's crazy. So now that that's covered, maybe I can get some feedback. I'd like to open up to anybody in the group, or Brendon, yourself, and anybody else, if you have some feedback for me on how I can dial back so that my users are not feeling like they're hit with too much information and that scatterbrained energy. And also, I'd like to offer a quote from the construction side of the world. My dad was an iron worker, and my kid's father is in construction, so it's really close to my heart. And it goes with what Brendon was saying, where it allows room for error, but at the same time, it's not the type of error that's going to be impacting your life. And it goes like this: measure twice, cut once. And I'll leave it there.
Awesome. Thank you, Pisces. Yeah, I was like, I knew where you were going with that one. I'm like, yes, right. Measure once, cut twice. Yep. Like measure twice, cut once. Yeah. No, don't measure once, cut twice. Then you're never. That's a horrible idea. Don't do that. But anyways, yeah, Pisces. No, thank you so much for sharing. And again, reminder with you building your Patreon, and for everybody building your Patreon, is that it is going to be something that is a work in progress as you're doing it. There's a learning curve that goes along with it. And I think, again, this could be stuff that we could talk about late beyond this. And I know Jennifer, if Jennifer might be able to just like help with some organization stuff as well. But I mean, yeah, like just, I have your Patreon or your Discord channel just open right now. And again, I don't think there's anything here that I can say that you're not already aware of. But again, just the obvious fact that there's like several channels right now that appear to be mostly empty.
Yes, that.
Yeah, so stuff like that. So again, with those ones,
my question is maybe just writing those down in a notepad for opening later and just kind of deleting them. Is that kind of, I don't know.
Or you start using them, or you start filling them up, right? You start filling them up. And because I know you got like stuff with like bulletins. I like, even like there's a channel there called Bulletins. To me, again, if I was a new user, I'm not exactly clear on what that is. Bulletins, I don't know what that means. So that could be like announcements. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that could be replaced with like announcements or upcoming live broadcasts or something like that. Because I think that's, again, kind of the intention there. And then again, state the obvious. And again, we're talking here, but this can apply to anybody who's building their own. And again, that's why I'm saying, because I think Pisces is already aware of this. But again, your welcome channel should just be you, like nobody else should have access to it, because that's where it goes over your rules. Whereas right now, the welcome channel has like other people saying hello inside of it. So you kind of combined, combined two channels into one.
I redirected everybody at the end there. And how do I want all that beautiful love in, can I request that maybe people copy paste that into the public channel? I don't know.
It might just be something where you might just have to kind of cut the bullet and delete some of those messages. You might have to. You might have to.
Yeah, and just ask them, hey, share some love. Redirect this. Share some love into the public chat if you feel.
Yeah, and again, I think again, this is stuff that we're kind of talking about before. Just kind of being able to get clear on how you're welcoming members in and how much access you're giving them. Because I think it's important that, like, again, like the members that are just joining publicly are not getting too much access to everything else. And that way, so again, you just unless your channel has some sort of other specific model that works for you, I would only have one channel open to the public, because it just keeps things consolidated. And then every other channel is for your Patreon supporters, because they're going to have a little bit more of a clear idea. But yeah, I think even there probably are some of the discussion topics, and like there's some stuff like I feel like there's some stuff there that you're almost trying to like I feel like there should almost be another channel, like another category that should almost just be like wisdom from Pisces, and then it's like specifically you sharing wisdom about specific topics, such as like, because again, I can see the one on like lunar guidance and things like that. Maybe that should just be you, sort of thing. Not that you're not like saying other people don't have something to share on that.
No,
but like
because how I wanted the lesson plans. I was talking about, if anyone sees the last work periods, I was talking about possibly releasing some lesson plan styles in numerology and lunar guidance. Those should be merged in just I'm totally loving that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So I do, and again, I apologize because we can't spend too much time on this because I just want to be able to
Yes,
make
let's
sure we
pass the
get it
mic.
into other people.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think the fact that you're open to refining things is good. But yeah, like I think what you could literally do, this is the thing that you can do, is you can literally create like a new section, and then you could literally just make that invisible, and then you could move some of those chats into that section so nobody else can see it. But then you could always re-add them, and opposed to deleting the channels
Yeah.
entirely. If there's stuff that you're like, I don't want to delete it, but maybe I'll re-add it later, just set it to like an invisible like archive category, and I can help you with that as well. But
Perfect.
yeah, I think you're moving in the right direction, and again, just getting things a little bit more clear, because again, I think that is what you need to do first before you start building more of your Patreon. Because if you're building, like, it's going to be harder to kind of like invite people into the Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
If again, if you're still like halfway through, like, constructing the temple and everything like
Yes.
that, like you want to get the party needs to be kind of like flowing and ready. And again, it's a construction process. You're building it. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think one step at a time, and just keep putting your presence out there on Patreon or
Yeah.
on TikTok. And then again, just kind of like let people know, even in videos, be like, hey guys, like, we're building this community. I'm providing additional, like exclusive guidance, everything like that. Send me a direct message, or leave a comment if you're interested, and then just follow up on those as you're ready. Because people could leave a message, like 5 days ago, but then you could get back to it and be like, hey, I'm following up. And then once you're ready for the Discord, you can do it. And
Love
again,
it.
you could even do like some sort of event where you're almost like kind of like a Patreon launch event that could be like a special broadcast or something. So you could literally create like
It's
a
gorgeous.
tarot broadcast that would be like, it'd be like tarot / Patreon launch party or something like that, because then you're invited to be able to constantly remind people, hey guys, this is about my Patreon. But yeah, don't invite people to the Patreon if your Discord
Uh-uh.
is not ready,
Yes, no, let me
otherwise.
tell everybody a word,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
warning right there. I did start out of order, and I know that that has affected having to backtrack right now. So word of warning.
Yeah, no, it's a good, it's a
Discord
good,
first.
it's a good learning experience. And again, the fact that we're talking about it here, that will
It's
help others with being like, okay, let's make sure that, I can just, because that's the thing, guys. Like, if you can
yeah,
set up your Discord in a way where it's like, smooth sailing right out the gate, like, absolutely, that's just going to save you effort in the long run. And again, for those of you who may be new to the whole Discord thing, you can check out, there's the work period on September 8th. I would encourage you to go check that out. And again, always just talk to me individually, and we can help you guys set up with your Discord. Because I know, like, I know I want to be able to get to Oleg as well, but Aizo, I know, like, you've been building your Discord, and just like general feedback, like, I think your Discord looks like really clean as it is right now. Like, I'm sure there's more places to kind of like continue to refine it and everything like that, but just kind of like at a first glance, it looks good. I know there's not too much activity in it, and I think like that's why, because you can tell like you're kind of organizing things before you start inviting people in. But just checking in with you, how do you feel about your Discord, and where would you like to be able to get more clarity? And then Oleg, we'll go over to you real quick. Go ahead, Aizo.
All right. So I'm feeling all right about my Discord. I've been really studying yours to have that background and that example. And I really liked how you were saying that it has to be very professional, kind of, to really promote the environment, to make sure that everybody knows how things are going to go and what is most definitely not allowed. And I've actually gotten a little bit of feedback from one of my people in my Discord saying that they really do like that I've set the tone pretty strict of what is allowed and what isn't allowed, so they know that they can be freely themselves and not get ridiculed or judged or anything like that. But also, I did want to touch on the self-talk that you were talking about earlier. I struggle myself, saying, saying okay, saying right, kind of, maybe, all those things like. One thing that I did also learn about the talking on camera is personalize it, because I've done this in all my past videos, in my past YouTube videos that I'm changing now. Instead of saying, because when people are watching your videos on YouTube, usually it's like them by themselves in their house, right? So instead of saying, hey guys, hey everyone, say, hey you, personalize it, say, hey, nice to see you, you're back, I have something for you. You know what I mean? I think that was awesome. When I learned that, I'm like, yes, I love that. Also, to touch on storytelling really quick, yes, I absolutely agree. Storytelling is so important. You talked about this already in a different work period as well. And I loved it because when I was in Vegas, I was talking to a functional medicine doctor. And what he wanted me to do, because I'm a health coach, what he wanted me to do was to talk with the new patients and fill out an extensive questionnaire where they basically tell their story. And I realized that telling your story and knowing your own story is so powerful, because then you can own it and you can really edit it and write it as you go, versus not being sure about certain parts, or like hiding and rejecting certain parts of your past because you're not proud or whatever. And obviously we'll talk about that more in shadow work, in the shadow work, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's really what I'm trying to say.
Awesome. Valuable tips there. Thank you, Aizo. That's I think, again, all of us can kind of take that to heart, to just make sure that when we're talking to people, it's more personalized. And again, and this may seem like a small caveat, but it'll honestly go a long way. Try to avoid using terminology such as guys and things like that. Try to make things more inclusive. That's something just to be aware of. I know a lot of people use the term guys as a gender neutral term to refer to a group of people, but hey, you can replace that with a lot of words. Hey everyone, and you can, hey team, you can use a lot of different words there. So just try. It's a little thing, but it's actually a big thing. So try to do that. And again, it will go a long way. Yeah, Aizo, we can talk more about your Discord stuff another time, but I did just want to mention on your Discord to make sure that like your welcome section is just your information, because right now it looks like your welcome section is like partly your intros for members, and I think that's just coming from you needing a little, like I can help you with like setting up the roles and the permissions. I think that's where we were at with that. Is that correct? Like you were just needing to like kind of like set up the roles and the permissions so certain people can only access certain things. That's what that was. Yeah. Okay. So I'll walk you through that a little bit later as well. Okay, cool. All right. Just checking in real quick. We're going to pass it to Oleg in a second. Is that cool? Does anybody else feel like they need to like jump in with any quick question at the moment or anything? Jennifer? Yeah, go ahead, Jennifer.
Sorry, just one real quick technical.
That's fine. Go for it.
Once you establish your channels, can you resequence them? Like if you establish A, B, C, and you want to put C in front of A, can you do that?
Correct. Yeah, you can move your channels around as need be. Yeah.
Great. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, cool. No problem. Thank you, Jennifer. Okay, and with that said, Oleg, we'll pass it over to you, dude. We got about maybe like less than 15 minutes, but we'll make the most of it. So Oleg, go ahead. Let us just kind of, because I do have your notes about your Patreon in front of me, but just kind of tell me like where you're at, how you're feeling with your Discord, your Patreon, and things in general rolling out. And welcome, dude.
I wanted to just ask you a few questions, branching off what we talked about with Pisces earlier. I just wanted to clarify: are the discussion topics just for the members, or is that like for everyone?
I generally encourage you to keep it for your members, because again, when it comes to discussion topics, different people have their different opinions, and if people aren't fully in alignment with the guidelines, you're just creating a place that could eventually evolve into people just kind of like you don't want the discussions to kind of like go off the rails. You need the discussions to be like mature and concise and intentional. And those people that are going to follow those guidelines are going to be people that are your leading members, because they've kind of read through things. Like you just don't want to put yourself in a situation where people are just joining the server and they're like, oh, here's my opinion on this. And then they just kind of throw it in. And then again, this is another little trick, but when you only have one channel available for your public members, and by public members I mean people that have joined your Discord before they've been given access to the rest of it as a result of joining on your Patreon, or either by you just giving them permission manually. But again, this is something that I do, especially since my channel's getting bigger, and Oleg, this will be useful for you, is that within the public channel, when it's nighttime or even when it's the weekend, and if I'm like away from my computer, I'll either leave a message, or if it's just later in the day, I'll just be like wishing everyone a restful night. And then what you can do is you can literally go into that channel, go to your permissions, go to the user role for your general user, and then set the send message option to off. And this basically turns your chat off for the nighttime. So basically, again, this is where the way how I choose you guys to visualize is imagine your chat as like a co-op building, and the people who are your Patreon supporters, they are tenants and they have keys to be able to access it after hours. For the general public, it is closed from, you know, like 10:30 until 9 a.m. or something like that. That's what makes co-op work. You can't just have people coming and going unless they're like active tenants, because again, that's what helps create the healthy environment. But yeah, just going back to you, Oleg, let me know if that just kind of answers your question or simplifies it a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. That helps clarify a lot for me.
Okay.
And also, like, so I had the thing where I was telling you I wanted to have the ability to discuss for like the Zoom meetings. I wanted to allow people to have the ability to discuss with like about spiritual topics, conscious topics. I want to have the open mic sessions, collaborative work periods too for like musicians and creators. Before launching my Patreon, should I already have like dates set up? Like, should I already have it set up like so people already like know like this is going to be happening, or like?
Yeah, that's something we talked about this in the last meeting, and I'll just reiterate it here. But yeah, if there's like particular themes that you can create a bit of an itinerary for, that can help people just get a scope. And it doesn't need to be like all of them, but even if it's just like chunks of 4. So it's like week 1 this, week 2 this, week 3, week 4. And then if you can, have the themes kind of lead into each other. So for that way, they're just like, oh, okay, like I'm really excited about week 4, but I need to make sure I get in by at least week 2, and then I can kind of like be a part of the momentum. So yeah, having a schedule and a routine is going to be really important. And again, I know some of you are looking for more instructions on how to be able to broadcast from YouTube to YouTube from Zoom. We'll talk about more of that in another work period. That is an option where if you guys go into Zoom, you go into the advanced, you'll see it. You could probably figure it out on your own, but we'll talk more about that. But yeah, just creating a routine where you have the events ahead of time, and then you're using the events to be able to direct people to joining your Patreon as a bit of an incentive as well. And again, at that point, that's where if you have a few people that you can invite in to be able to be involved as some of your leading members, even as you're building up your Patreon, do that. You know, find the people that are going to be a good fit. And again, depending on what relationship you build with them, some of them may be like, hey, you know, like this is an equal energy exchange. I don't need you to join my Patreon. But then with some of them, you just let them know, and then they'll be like, yeah, I'll join the Patreon next month or something like that. You keep it flexible, but do not just like completely give away your entire services for free. Don't do that. That's just going to hurt yourself in the long run, where you're just like, no, it's cool, man. It's cool. Just do it. Just like join for free and everything like that. Like having the price on the Patreon is actually doing them a favor. Because in most cases, most people can afford like either like $5 or $11. And if most, again, obviously there's exceptions, no shame or anything here. But honestly, for most people, if they're just like, you know, like if they want to be able to join it, invite them to be able to be like, well, you know, like you can set this intention to be able to like manifest like $11 for each month. And most people can. Most people can. If they don't think they can, then like that's like something for them to be able to kind of like conquer. But you can invite them to that. Be like, no, like 100%, you've got a month to manifest $11. You can do this. Like you can totally do this. So again, that's where like for people who are like, I literally can't afford this, either you make a personal decision, or again, you just like you stay kind of like strict on kind of like, these are the guidelines, and it's not to cut people out, but it's actually to be able to invite them into being able to like set that intention for the universe to be able to say like, yes, this is something I want. And when they sign up for your Patreon, it's them putting the skin in the game. Like seriously, people, if they get stuff for free, they're less likely to show up. If they're paying a membership, they will show up, period. That's how things work. So that's why don't give away too much for free, or otherwise you're actually just like hurting yourself and the overall community. You do want to give away things for free, and those things are going to be a lot of value, but they'll also invite you back into like the ongoing value that's exclusive for your members. Like pass it back to you, and then we'll get close to wrapping this up. But if anybody else has any other stuff real quick. Oleg, let me know again, because I know we want to be able to talk a bit about like your tiers, or if there's any other questions you got, and there might be some stuff we'll talk about afterwards.
Yeah, you can pass it on to someone else. That help clarify some things. Yeah, okay. Discuss later about my Patreon tiers.
Okay, because I know your Patreon. Well, I just wanted to be able to ask you real quick with your Patreon tiers. Between the 11 and the 33, is the difference? There's the difference in the discount code for the merch.
Yeah.
What else is the difference? I'm not sure if I'm just not seeing it, or.
Yeah, no, you're seeing it. I'm trying to figure out actually how to make it more enticing, the higher tiers actually. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. We can talk more about that another time as well. So that may even mean like just kind of like removing some things from the 11 or just introducing something. But yeah, we can talk more about that, man. That's fine. So okay. Is that okay with you?
Thank you.
Okay,
Good.
cool. All right, cool. All right, team. We'll get close to wrapping it up here. Again, if anybody has any just like general questions or feedback or anything like that, you guys can let me know. Even just kind of like, what your next steps are. Please feel free to let me know. And like even for the people here, I would definitely invite you guys to if you're looking to build a community, building a Discord is a very, very powerful way to do it. And then again, you link that up with a Patreon, and then that's where people can join as a membership to be able to get further access both to the value of being connected with a community of like-hearted, like-minded people, as well as further connection with you. And again, the value of you facilitating, the value of you organizing these events. That is a part of the work. A big part of the work is you like scheduling things in and organizing and facilitating. That's valuable. That's incredibly valuable, and people will support you in being able to do that. Okay, just if we're ready to wrap it up, that's fine. But I just want to be able to make sure that everybody's taken care of. And again, if you guys have any questions afterwards, please feel free to let me know. Real quick, if you guys just want to go around and even just share some gratitude and just share some excitement, let me know. Pisces, go ahead.
Oh yeah, you saw me on mute.
I assumed, yeah.
I just had a quick blip come to me about maybe getting some guidance on starting a shop, and then but that's for like a way later time. And then honestly, it just left me. So I just wanted to share my gratitude for this space and my gratitude for everybody that has supported me on my journey. And I look forward to supporting all of you in any way that I can.
Awesome.
Namaste.
Awesome. Thank you, Pisces. Yeah, we'll have to talk a bit more about like shop stuff on another meeting. We can definitely do that because I know for some of you that's going to be very, very relative. So. Okay, cool. Anybody else just want to share any quick gratitude? You guys are more than welcome to do that. And then we'll just kind of like wrap it up or anything like that. So Aizo, just kind of checking in with you. Can you just like, are you feeling okay with your next steps? Because we can talk more like beyond this, but if you just want to like even just reiterate what your next steps are, I'd be curious.
Okay, sure. One thing that I want to talk about later too is I want to promote other coaches on my Discord. So like, for example, I'm doing health coaching, right? But if somebody comes on my Discord and they are interested in conscious media creation, I would love to, refer them to you so they could find you as well, or anybody else that has any service that aligns with my purpose. I feel like that would be really cool. And I'd love to get some advice on you for that later.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that literally could be as simple as just like setting up a separate channel that only you have access to, and then you just publish in it as you go and use the @everyone tag sort of thing. And then maybe every now and then if they have like a new event coming up, you can use the @everyone tag and publish it in like an announcements section or something like that. But okay. Yeah, no, I think that would be a really, really, really cool way just to be able to connect people with more services. I agree. So cool. Okay. Anybody else just want to be able to just share any gratitude on the mic, or if you guys are all ready to wrap it up? Okay, cool. Thumbs up from everyone. You guys ready? Are we ready to wrap it up then? Is that cool? Cool. Okay. All right. So with that said, just closing things off here. Thank you everyone again for watching this in the future. Please feel free to continue to leave your comments down below if this was helpful for you. Connect to our Discord if you guys just want to check out what we got going on. Join on the Patreon if you want to join as a leading member and get access to these meetings, our podcast, lots more. Last thing I will say, I forgot to mention this at the top. Guys, we have our next broadcast coming up this Thursday. It's going to be a big one. It's a full moon broadcast. These are always very special. And it's going to be on spiritual wisdom of the shadow. And it's going to be a community panel and global meditation. Please feel free to promote this. You can use the link tinyurl/oct1 shadow, OCT1 shadow. So you can use that link to be able to direct people to the YouTube. And if you would like to be able to get the graphics, just send me a direct message as well. And I can on Instagram, send me a direct message on Instagram and I can send you the graphics. You can create those for your TikTok and repost it to your IG and your IG Reels. Reminder, use IG Reels. If you guys aren't using IG Reels, 15-second video. I think IG might have even increased the reel limit to 30 seconds. That might have been the thing. I'm not entirely sure. But use IG Reels for those of you who aren't using IG Reels, meaning if you're uploading 15-second videos to TikTok, re-upload upload in the IG Reels, use good hashtags. Those will help grow your account. It's working for me, and I want it to work for you guys too. Okay, team, we are going to wrap this up. Thank you, everyone, again, so much for joining in. So if you guys need any other support, just message me on Discord or Instagram, and I would be happy to help support you. Thank you, everyone. All right, let's wave farewell and send some love to all the people watching. We love you guys. Thank you so much. All right. Okay, until next time, keep it shifty, and welcome to the future. Much love. Go team. Woo.